Welcome back to High Now Daily. The weekly program, A Leader's Journey, has been showcasing outstanding individuals in Hawaii, steering important organizations within our community. This week, Jack Kittinger shares his experiences with ocean conservation and community restoration. Take a look.
On the next episode of A Leader's Journey, we meet Jack Kittinger, a lifelong waterman and now Senior Vice President at Conservation International. He's working to protect the oceans and restore communities. Here's a preview of our conversation.
Sometimes being a leader is just being persistent. You know, it's not more complicated than that. I remember for the green fee in particular, we had a legislative session where the bill passed through both houses and it didn't get scheduled for a conference bill. And the whole team, myself included, were pretty down about that. I mean, some people were outright demoralized. And you're going to get a lot of failure before you get success in any endeavor. And you have got, at some point, to mourn the failure, learn from it, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get your energies back around you and push again. And that literally is the story of the green fee. We were a failure. Everyone's talking about the big win. You got to remember, we failed for 8 years before we succeeded in getting this through. So you have to learn from those. And you have to not let yourself succumb to the demoralization that happens when you fail to succeed.
And where do you find that inner strength? Where does that come from?
Well, look, I work in conservation. Like, we might win a battle or two, but we are losing the war. I mean, if you look at any of the data on climate or biodiversity loss, which are the two twin crises that I believe will define our age, it certainly will define my children's lives in fundamental ways that it didn't define mine. Like, their lives will be fundamentally different. But we are losing that battle at the global scale. And not losing it we're losing it badly. And we're trying to bend that arc back. So you have to take heart in the small victories and in the small wins, no matter how little they may be, because that is how you build and build towards bigger success.
When the problems that you're describing are of the nature that they are so vast and they can feel so overwhelming.
Yeah.
How do you not get overwhelmed by that and just say, you know what, forget it? I know that there are people who, you know, avoid stories about climate change because they just are so demoralizing. You can get really depressed. And I've talked to climate scientists who say that there is actual depression among climate researchers because of these issues. How do you avoid that? How do you not get overwhelmed by the problem itself?
Well, I mean, it's okay to be overwhelmed by the problem. That's okay. It happens all across the sector. I see people on my team grapple with this all the time, right? But I'm constantly reminding them of the adage that, you know, if everyone sweeps their front porch, the whole world will be clean. So sweep your front porch, right? You handle the part of this problem that you're responsible for. And if you are successful at that, then that makes the next person next to you's jobs easier. And we're all engaged in this. We're not going to solve it overnight. It's a problem that took over a century to form. Like, literally since the Industrial Revolution, this has become an issue. And we have just a couple of generations to solve it. I mean, maybe even shorter than that. But any progress is good progress. We cannot get trapped in what Al Gore talked about famously in An Inconvenient Truth, in this, like, well, this is just too big, we might as well just go home and give up, right? That is just not an option, right? So part of my job is to keep people focused on what they can achieve in their part of this overall struggle.
Jack reminds us that true leadership means charting a course where community and environment thrive together. Watch the full episode on air and online at hawaiinewsnow.com.